Hello and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. Today's question, how do I help my very promiscuous niece? Wow. Stay tuned as we prepare to unbox the answer to that question. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. All right, welcome again. Like I said before, I'm Dr. Robert Davis. You're tuned in to Unboxed, where we attempt to unbox the power and the potential of all relationships, workplace relationships, family relationships, distant family relationships, in-laws, outlaws, church relationships, whatever it may be. We want to encourage you to join us. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We have an awful lot of resources and materials beyond what we share here with the virtual book club or with the Unbox. We have other resources. Make sure that you go and check those out. And then make sure that you share the information. There are a lot of people that can benefit from the materials that we share here. And so please do just that. Also want to remind you that Unboxed provides many services to help your organization, your church, your business to create a healthy relationship culture. If you'd like more information, check out our website at swg-unboxed.org. And then we also want to encourage you to support. We do a lot of work in the community, especially around community organizing, and want to encourage you to support. Check out our website and click on the donation. Learn more about how we're impacting the community and how you can join and be a part of what's going on. Lastly, make sure that you send in your questions. We answer your relationship questions here to help you to unbox all of the power and the potential of every relationship that you're in. So send your questions in. You can email them at info. I believe it's right here. There it is, at info at swg-unboxed.org. You can go to our website and fill out our page, or you can send us a direct message. Don't put it in the chat. Send us a direct message and we'll get to it. Okay, here's the question, everyone. Vanessa from Michigan asked this question. She says, how do I help my very promiscuous niece? How do I help my very promiscuous niece? My niece often cries about her pain, but continues to be sexually active with multiple partners. I am afraid of making her mad, and I want to continue to be her go-to person for support and encouragement. What can I do? Wow. I'm going to read that one more time. I kind of butchered it a little bit. How do I help my very promiscuous niece? My niece often cries about her pain, but continues to be sexually active with multiple partners. I'm afraid of making her mad, and I want to continue to be her go-to person for support and encouragement. What do I do? Wow. That is a very powerful one. Besides, the risk of sexually transmitted diseases, I just talked to someone not too long ago who got mono just from kissing. They didn't get to go all the way. There are many, various diseases out there that you got to be cautious about. So I can understand, and I definitely can sympathize with the concern as an aunt that you would feel towards your niece. And I also respect the fact that you want to continue to be a support system for her, to be able to encourage her and be able to be there to help her in any way you can. So I want to make sure that I do understand the challenges, and I appreciate your wanting to be a part of her life. So let me just jump into the middle of this, because I want to kind of help reshape some of the thinking that you have, and then we'll talk about some specifics on what can be done. So let me just help to reshape. You cannot make someone mad. I know you say you're concerned or worried about making her mad. You can't make someone mad. That is a choice that they make in response to your actions. No one can make you mad. You can't make someone else mad. That is a choice that you make, an emotion that is produced, but you have the ultimate power. And so no one can make. So I don't want you to take responsibility for her emotions. Take responsibility only for your actions. Take responsibility for your actions. You cannot be responsible for her emotions. How she feels, It's how she feels. And I say that because you're about to do some very important things for her that I'm going to share with you. You're really about to help her to move to the next level. And I don't want you to get sidetracked with things that are peripheral and are counterproductive. And taking ownership of someone else's emotions is not going to be productive. Take ownership of your actions. Take ownership, as I shared with another person not too long ago. Speak the truth in love. Be very conscious and thoughtful about how you say things, the tone of voice you use, all of that stuff. But at some point, the other person has to take ownership of their emotions and the way that they choose to respond. And then I want to share another thing, getting you in the right mindset. Don't get overwhelmed with trying to give her advice. And I'm talking to myself on this one because my knee-jerk reaction when someone comes with a problem is to dole out advice. But giving advice, and I want you to understand this, giving advice is typically how we relieve our own anxiety regarding a situation or how we relieve our own stress. And I want you to understand, you're not trying to be responsible for her emotions, nor are you trying to relieve your anxiety. You are simply trying to be a help and a support. And giving advice, this is my experience. My experience is giving people advice does not help them. What actually helps them is being a support as they come up with the best solutions in these situations. Now, this is a whole lot different than someone coming to you saying, hey, do you think it would be wise for me to buy this particular stock? Or, think it'd be wise for me to buy this investment property? But we're talking about decisions more of the heart here. And giving advice is typically not beneficial. What's more beneficial, and I'm going to show you how to go through this. What's more beneficial is actually helping them through the process. So I want to give you just five quick things, and I'll put them up on the screen, write them down, come back and watch this again, share this with somebody. Again, like, subscribe, share, support. Like, subscribe, share, and make sure that you support Unboxed. So 5 things that I want to encourage you to do. The first thing is, and I think that this is going to help her the most, and that is help her to take ownership of her problems. A lot of times when people come to us, they're pouring into us, their issues, their problems, their concerns, etc. And our knee-jerk reaction is to take ownership and try to give them advice and, walk them out of it. No, she has to take ownership of her own problems. That has to be understood. And you, being her aunt, will know the best way to articulate that to her. But throughout this entire relationship and throughout this entire process, she has to understand that she has ownership and that she is responsible for her own problems. The second thing is help her to move to a thinking position rather than a reactionary position. Because promiscuity, sexual activity, especially outside of marriage or outside of a committed relationship, as a Christian minister, of course, I believe should only be within marriage, but outside of a committed relationship is typically a psychological and an emotional event. And so we want her to move away from emotional reactions and just being caught up in the cycle without thinking through what she's doing. The best place for anyone to be when they're trying to figure out matters of the heart is to be at a rational, calm thinking place. A rational, calm thinking place. And you need to help her to transition there. And very simple, and I'm going to share another point that's going to help bring that together. How do we get her to that place? So let me give you number 3, and that'll help to illustrate how that happens. And so the next thing is help her to become curious. There's the word. Help her to become curious about the origins of what's going on, as well as the process of what's going on. So again, not asking a bunch of why questions, but what are you thinking when a gentleman invites you over and you know that he's going to try to have sex with you? What are you thinking? How does it make how do you feel when he doesn't call back, or what is usually going on when you start having these overwhelming sexual urges that causes you to to reach out and to hook up with old boyfriends or dudes that or whatever it may be. Again, in a very calm, relaxed manner, not being shocked, not being disgusted, but in a very calm, matter-of-fact, and relaxed manner, begin asking questions that will help her to become curious, which will in turn put her into a thinking space. Talk through those things with her. Where or when. Again, why questions don't help an awful lot, because if we knew why, then a lot of times we wouldn't do it. But more factual type questions, getting her to think about, what's going on, who's involved, events that come before and after, other relationships that may not even be sexual, but especially other family relationships and how those dynamics are playing into everything. Get her into a place of becoming curious. Because remember, this is her issue. This is what she has to work through. You are there as a support and encouragement and a help. But the more curious, the more she wants to work through and solve this, the stronger and more productive that she's going to be. And then number 4, you ready for this? Encourage her to seek professional help. I guess you're saying, why don't you put that as number 1? Well, I wanted to put it as number 4. It was my choice. My show. Unboxed is my show. So I can put it at number 4. So I put it at number 4. But yeah, at some point, and this is all of us, we have to recognize when individuals need professional help. And the way that I'm understanding this question, she is really having a difficult time with committed relationships. She's having a difficult time. She's reverting constantly to having multiple sexual partners and all these things. There's something going on that's above my pay grade. That's probably above your pay grade as well. It's definitely going to be above your pay grade because you're family and you have such a close connection with her. She needs to get some professional help. And you would do well to encourage her to talk to someone who can help her to understand what's really going on. Someone that can really help to talk through these things. Now, all the tools that I have shared with you are going to be beneficial in gaining her confidence as you try to encourage her to seek professional help. But on the backside, as I close, on the backside, it's also going to be beneficial in the process when she seeks professional help, because more than likely she's going to see a therapist once a week, once every other week, or something of that nature. So it's going to be gaps, and you're going to be in the gap. That's a term that we use in the Christian church. Somebody stood in the gap for me. That means that somebody was praying for me, thinking about me, interceding on my behalf. So you're going to be standing in that gap between when she's seeing her therapist. And those are the things, continue to help her to think, continue to help her to move beyond emotional reactions, continue to help her to take ownership. So she won't stop going to the therapist, but will continue as long as she needs that help. And then the last thing is, as she's in therapy, as you're able to move her in that direction, and that is, be a non-judgmental listening ear as she's going through the therapeutic process. Just be a non-judgmental listening ear. What did your therapist say? How did that make you feel? What are some things that you're going to do as a result of that? What are some other ideas that you have? Who's your support? What about, you mentioned this, what about this? Be a non-judgmental ear, not putting you down, not criticizing, and just listening as she goes through this process, hopefully with a trained professional. And if she's not willing to go see a trained professional, the best that you can do is, again, be a warm, loving, committed presence. You can't change people. You can't force people. Serenity Prayer 2.0. Lord, grant me the serenity to accept that I cannot change others. Courage to change the only person I can. And the wisdom to know the difference. I hope that this little advice that I was able to give you will be beneficial. And I really am praying that everything goes well for you and your niece. Again, everyone, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night as we unbox the power and the potential of relationships. Until then, take care.
Seasoned with Grace, Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swguboxed.com. swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.